What's up, guys? This is Aaron, and today we are at Azerbaijan in Baku for round number 3, and we are currently watching my first qualifying run, or not even the first run. This is just the beginning of the session. We're going out now. Stefan Wild really wants to get in front of us, and yeah, we just hit our teammate and lost our wing, so that was really upsetting. Some backstory before I continue. I actually had a friend's birthday party, birthday brunch more like, and he wanted to start drinking at the beginning of the day. So I was having some mimosas and I was quite drunk when this started. So I'm not 100% on my game as this race started, so yeah, that's why I hit Grezu, just kind of a lack of reaction time and all that. So now we're starting a second qualifying run after we've repaired the wing, and we've just slammed into the wall yet again. And yep, right there we have wing damage yet again, but now it's a yellow wing on the left side, and suddenly the right side is green again, so I have no idea what is wrong with the game. But I can tell you why I slammed into the wall is because my yet again wing damage, and I thought my qualifying run was over, completely over. I was gonna just start at the back of the grid at this point, and what had happened is there's 2 clamps on my steering wheel. I've only clamped one of them down because I was drunk and I forgot to clamp down the second one. So right now I'm driving with one hand on the wheel and using my other hand to clamp down the other one. So right now we're checking our wing again, and suddenly it's 100% wing. Our wing is just not broken. So okay, so God has gifted us, and we're gonna go for our second qualifying run. It's not a perfect run, but I'm just going to leave you guys to it and watch without my talking. Enjoy. So activating DRS now, about to cross the finish line. Let's see what we do. And that's going to do a 1 minute 41.0. I guess relatively good. Definitely there was a lot of time to be found if I was able to do 2 or 3 more runs to get into the rhythm. Turns 7, 11, and 15, definitely a 10th to a 10th and a half each turn, and could have potentially did a 40.5. But that would have put us top 6. But yeah, P11, not a really good position to start off with, but you know, it is what it is, and we're going to live with it. So on to the race start now then, with 4 or 5 red lights, and that's lights out behind Cameron B and Stefan Wild, and they've left a big gap in between the two, or between themselves, and we're going to squeeze right in, making no contact. Very clean race start, and we're going to turn 2 3 wide, but there's no room for Stefan, and he's going to give us a love tap, and he's going to lose at least 2 positions there. and with us gaining 1 position and off to a very good start. And from here on out, pretty much we're gonna just settle in between the racers in front of us. No one's really gonna go for any crazy overtakes here. It's just too narrow. Everyone's too closely in a line that, you know, if you go for a move, you might even get some wing damage. It's just too risky. So hopping towards lap 2 now, we have Wesselty making a move on Cameron. And we're thinking about making the same move on Cameron, making it a double overtake on him, but we think better of it. Just don't want to risk it. It's a long race, 26 laps. And yeah, and for the same reason here, we're going to have a good look on Cameron here. We're close enough to have the inside line, but by any chance, I don't want to outbrake myself into Wesselty if I go a little too deep. So yeah, just playing it safe. And cutting ahead just slightly, we're going to be right behind Cameron, and he is really struggling for pace, and he's just going super slow, and because of this we have already almost a second in front of him, and then a second and a half in front of Wesselty. Going for a move on here on Cameron, but we think better of it. It narrows right before the turn, and I didn't want us to collide, so yeah, thinking better of it, and we're probably going to make a move on him on the straight now. And as you can see, there's huge gaps in front of the 2 or 3 racers in front of us. This is what I was scared of, and this is what we get for botching qualifying so badly. It's just gonna be so hard to make positions. Like I said, 5 positions relatively easy, and then after we make those 5 passes, it's just gonna be so hard to catch up to the guys in front because they've pulled away so much after we've been battling with the midfield guys. Yeah, so our race consistency and pace is always usually really good, but we're gonna have to kind of pray that there's some type of incidents up ahead with wing damage and maybe some battling gone awry, and to make up more positions, because they're just going to be too far ahead. Our tires will be dead by the time you know, at a certain point in the race, we're just not going to make any time up. So right in back of Wesselty, this is going to be a relatively easy overtake. DRS side by side, and ahead of him going to turn 1. It's going to be very easy, and he's just going to try the switchback, but he's just way too far behind, and that's a job well done. And now all we have in front of us is Grezu, our teammate. That's about 2 seconds ahead of us, and cutting ahead 3 laps now. We're going to catch up to him about 5 tenths a lap, and he's going to jump the curb a little too much here at turn 15, and he's going to let us by with you know, some nice team orders, or just being a good teammate. And for this stint, that's pretty much it. The 10 laps here, and we're actually going to go on to another set of super softs. The reason being is because the game was predicting some rain at the last, I don't know, last 6 or 7 laps of the race. There's going to be light rain, so we're going to risk it and go on to super softs. If the rain doesn't come early enough, we might be worrying about a puncture 1 or 2 laps for one or 2 laps before the rain comes. So coming out in 7th position, we have Grezu and Will, or ZFZ Will, in front of us. Actually, when I came out of the pits here, at this time I realized that because we stayed an extra 2 laps on the super softs, everyone that went into the softs actually undercutted us just a little bit, and we lost a little time. And yeah, we're on the faster tire, yeah, we can go a little faster, but I don't think, you know, just looking back now, I don't think it was such a good strategy call, because now I'm gonna have to push really hard. And you know, I'm a consistent driver, but I'm not used to pushing consistently. I push, but I don't usually push very hard consistently. That's when you start to make a lot of mistakes. So If I came out on the softs, if I pit lap 8, 9 like everyone else, I could have actually been ahead of ZFZ Will, possibly coming out of the pits. Hard to tell, but it is what it is, and because of our super softs, we're going to make this overtake on Will relatively easy. Side by side, we're going to leave him some room. Turn 2, I think he might be challenging, so we're going to take up the middle of the track, make sure he doesn't go for anything crazy, and that's pretty much a move done. So, skipping ahead to lap 19 now, we've caught up to WTDKs, who was a good 4 seconds up the road from us, and the last 4 laps we were catching him about 1 second a lap, so that definitely means he had some wing damage. Haven't checked with him, but most likely some wing damage. And coming up to turn 7 now, we're going to outbrake ourselves into the back of him, giving us a yellow-green wing. This was very upsetting, and at this point I was scared now, because now it's going to be harder to get past K's, and now we're going to be under pressure from ZFZ Will, who's only about 2.5 seconds behind us. And he's actually been really good on those softs. So yep, cutting ahead to lap 20. We have DRS and WTKs. Don't know if we're close enough. Looks like it. We have some incredible speed coming down the straight, and we're going to go for the move. And not quite, but he leaves us just a millimeter of room. Trying to get on the traction, slam into the wall. Luckily, we have no more damage. That didn't give us any more damage. So, very quickly, on the second stint here, I was actually doing very consistent 43.5s and 43.6s, pulling away from ZFZ Will about half a second a lap. And there's 2 incidents where I almost spun, and each time I spun, I lost about 7/10 a lap. So that's why he's so close. And that's because I was coming down from the alcohol. So yeah, don't drink before a race. And now behind WTKs, I think he's feeling the pressure now, going very wide, hitting the wall and hitting a wall again, and he has hit us. And I think he might even hit Will from behind us as well. I don't know what his status is, but that could have been very nasty. That could have been a double or even a triple retirement, and somehow managed to stay relatively safe, incurring no more damage. And yeah, we're very, very lucky. So lap 20 is when the rain started to fall. We're in P2. There's 2 or 3 people who retired in front of us, so we're actually very lucky to be in this position. But we're out braking ourselves into turn 15. Barely managed to stop hitting the wall, and now side by side into turn 16. ZFZ Will here. We're going to switch back on him. And we're going to come down here and challenge him down onto the straight, probably overtake him again, or maybe go to the pits. And ZFZ Will is going to be too much throttle, and somehow he's hit the wall, and we've managed to avoid him. That was scary, and once again, another possible, race-ending event we managed to avoid. But now the rain has really started to fall. Lap 22. And we are struggling for pace. Almost hit the wall at turn 2. And coming to turn 3 now, suddenly forgot how to use our brake, and we were into the runoff at turn 2, and we were going to lose 2 positions right off the bat. We're P4 now, and we have Scotch Tape 20 in P5, and he's going to be right behind us, and we're going to try to defend him. We want this P4, but yeah, it's going to be very hard on here this next turn here. I think turn 5 on the outside is just not possible, and we're just going to forfeit the position here, sadly. So one big mistake has cost us a full race worth of consistency, but it is what it is, and we got to live with it. So going to put on intermediates now. So we're going to jump Scotch Tape 20 in the pits. He's repairing his wing. I think he did hit the wall right before coming in. So Yeah, even with that big bottle, that has given us a lot of confidence for the rest of the season. We know our race pace is there and our consistency is there. So coming to turn 15, breaking 100 meters, huge mistake in the rain, and making our yellow-green wing on the right side a red wing now. So yeah, definitely going to be very hard to keep the road. To keep the car on the road now. Can't even take this S section, and we slammed into the wall. We luckily did not lose our front left wheel. Very, very lucky indeed. And now we have our teammate catching up to us. We're not gonna make it too hard. We're gonna go deep. We're gonna let him take the inside and just let him take it very easily. And that is giving us P5 now. When we had a potential P2. It is what it is, I guess. And now turn 1, under pressure now from AOR Ruben and Scotch Tape 20. We're going to lock up just a little bit, go deep, and just stay ahead ever so slightly in front of him. And the same here for turn 2, going deep. He's going for the move and managing to stay ahead. And coming down towards turn 3, we're going to brake very early, 150 meters. Managed to take the turn fairly nicely and staying ahead. And pretty much I don't know what happened, but AOR Ruben doesn't get any closer than that after that turn. So we're going to finish in P4 across the line, but after penalties, Scotch Tape 20 jumps both me and Ruben. Yeah, sadly. And Cameron B, who was struggling for pace in the beginning, has taken second place, surprisingly. And man, props to him. ZFC Will for third. Yeah, and then Grezu, as you can remember, he passed us, but then on the very last lap, he had a PC update that pretty much put him into the runoff area, and he couldn't do anything about it. So he literally went from 5th position all the way down into last place. No, not last place, 8th place. So still managing to score some points. Could have been a lot better for Red Bull today, but nope. And sadly letting Lamp run away with this championship, but congrats to him. And hopefully we can challenge him in the next couple races. Plan to at least be competitive here. So on to the results of the Drivers' Championship. I know it looks kind of weird. I like to invert my colors. It's easier on the eyes, but couldn't be asked to change it. So yeah, 8th position in the Drivers' Championship. It's a long season with 13 more races, 12 more races to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this race. It was action-packed, even though my result in here was not that good. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. See ya.